Hey there, happy Sunday, it's me Victor. Hopefully you're having a great weekend. I'm just going to go over some particular plays and go over our markets. This one's probably going to be pretty long. It's just going to go over some setups, again, of how I trade and what I do, okay? Again, all these are for educational only. Don't take everything as advice. Alrighty, but as I always say, to begin with, I don't know who you are. I'm not sure if you're just getting started in this business, but I always say that you really have to filter out the noise, okay? And it takes time getting to that point. And in the beginning, you're not really knowing what to do. And I understand that. I was there. I was trying to do everything at once. And in the beginning, sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes you have to weed out what you're bad at. So I'm not saying that's not bad. It's kind of beneficial in the beginning, but over time, you want to narrow your focus down to a few select setups that you can exploit and do over and over again. And in this video, I'm going to show you really two patterns that I've been doing over and over again over the past year or 2 years. Really, I've been mastering them. And that's really what it comes down to in the markets. You don't have to overtrade every day. You don't have to try to force something. And I mean, again, you're human, I'm human. Sometimes I do force trades, and that's usually where I get my biggest losses from, is in overtrading. And I'm not gonna sit and tell you I'm perfect. I'm not. It's all about having a positive expectancy in the long run, but really, two setups I'm gonna show you. Well, I guess really, I'm not even sure what this. It's pretty much opening range highs and these flag patterns that set up on stocks, on these moving averages. It's really what it is. And along with EPs, and I can show you what a definition of an EP is. Again, everyone thinks an episodic pivot is something that just randomly gaps up. No, it's not. I'll go over that as well. But yeah, just remember that you want to get the randomness out of trading, okay? That's the main important thing. And here's what I want you to do. You should use Finviz. Go on Finviz, okay? It's free. And go to the screen. I have screeners for a lot of stuff, but this is free. Go look at the biggest past 6 months gainers, performance half of the year, do plus 20. You want to see more. Then you just pretty much, what I did is go by performance and go the stock that had the biggest gain so far. And what you do is just look at the chart patterns. That's all you have to do, is look at the stock charts, because most of the time, former runners can run again. And most importantly, this is studying the past better prepares you for the future, okay? All these stocks in some way have ran in the past. Even NEG is popping back up. See, I'm glad I looked this up, because I had NEG off my watch list, but now I'm gonna put it on because look how it's basing. It's about to reclaim the 50. Oh, is it the 50? Yeah, it's basing at the 50. Very strong. But that's what you have to do, is really study the past, okay? So do that. But pretty much is what I do. Opening range highs. Again, I look for a stock. Okay, a perfect example of what I do is gonna be. Everyone's talking about it. This is 5-star. This is what I do. Okay, let's just go here. It's better on the daily chart here. You want a stock that makes a big move, right? In some way pulls back, then goes again. And you want it to pull back on like you see here, like the moving averages, right there. That's what you want it to do. You want it to pull back towards like the moving averages, and really that's when it bases at the moving averages. Then you buy it as it breaks out, like you see here, even there, but it failed. But the 5-star one was right here. I missed it, but again, the point is this setup offers numerous entries as it goes up. Now again, the higher this goes above these moving averages, like you see here on the hourly, the less likely it's going to succeed. But this is 5-star. This is what I want you to see here. This right here, okay, right here. This is 5-star. 5-star, 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 5-star. I bought it the next day, opening range highs, okay? Opening range highs. Why is it 5-star? Number one, look how it broke out of the channel, okay? Again, stocks move in stairs. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For 3 months, this was consolidating, for 3 months. And we have a range break. Okay? We have a range break. And most of the stocks, the best ones that run, take time to develop. They're not going to just go. Sometimes the best ones do go straight up. Like I'll show you on some of these quantum plays in a minute. But something like this, the fact that I'm not going to go into the specific details of the candles, but just look how they're getting bought up. These 2 days specifically right here. They're getting bought up. It's buying pressure. And again, most importantly, pay attention to volume. Therefore, that's really my bread and butter setup. 5-star. Congrats to everyone who was long on this one. Congrats. I even show you some more. I keep a database of these stocks that break out. Really, AI themes have been going lately. Even Pony, same type of pattern. Range break on the hourly. Look left to see the right. Look, this has ran before. Consolidation for months. Range break. Okay. Again, it offered numerous times to get long, even right there. And I got long this past Friday. I got long. As I mentioned, most of these stocks offer numerous entries. Again, the 2 days of consolidation, 3 days, right there, sideways. You want a stock to go sideways? Then you buy the range break. Again, you don't want to buy it now, not up here. No, you don't want to buy it up here. No, you want to buy it right here, as it's just breaking out. You don't want to buy it before. You don't want to try to play guessing games. You want to buy it just right, and it's 5-star. It's just pretty much the same stuff. And whatever your pattern is, the more you do this, it's going to become effortless. And there's been a lot of sympathy plays with these nuclear stocks. Oklo, 9 Nano, 5-star as well. Range break, and this one's on watch for sure for next week. It's gonna be on watch for the daily break. I can see this for sure breaking the daily. It's a sympathy runner. Again, focus on hot themes. Hot theme plays have been 5-star quantum, and again, this has ran in the past. I did not get long because of buying power issues, but it's just setting up very nicely. And if this does gap up over $48, it's a buy. I would say it's a good long. But that's 5-star in this one, And as I go through these, I want you to look at the stock charts on your own software and just look at them and understand how they're good setups and what makes them good setup. That's what you have to come down to. Even SMR, same type of deal. Nuclear, it's a theme play. Look at this. This is what you want to see. Okay, big move. As I always say, a stock that makes a big move, pulls back, bases and range break, and that's a 5-star setup. And I did not get long, but again, as I mentioned earlier, these setups are going to offer numerous opportunities. Okay, they're not done. Just because I have one day doesn't mean they're done. No, it's an offer numerous opportunities. So ideally, with this one, I can see this big picture over 50. Just let it do its thing. But yeah, that's that one. A lot of the quantum plays have been happening as well. Again, quantum. Again, this is what I always go back to. Former runners can run again, okay? That's something I want you to remember. A stock that has ran in the past can run again, okay? It's in their blood, it's in their nature. With all these quantum plays that I'm about to go over, it's sector rotation. Most of the times whenever a sector has a first initial run, there's usually going to be another run in the future. That's one thing I've noticed. With COVID, with Bitcoin, with weed stocks, with weed plays when that was around. That's one thing I noticed. They have another run, and it's your job to keep them on list and just to watch for them, you know. But yeah, I mean the main one that everyone's been talking about is RGTI. You know, that's the biggest one. I don't know what to tell you. You should print this chart out and just look at it over and over again, because this is where big money is made. Okay, the big money is made in stocks like this. Okay, 5-star. Again, the premise is it's made a run before consolidation, you know, and it breaks the range, you know, and it tried there, but it failed. And who knows, you know, everyone's saying, what's this going up? Why? It's sector momentum, okay? And you don't want to fight the trend. Never want to fight the trend. And again, as I mentioned, they offer numerous setups. You know, the initial buyout breakout day was right there, but it gave you 2 days. It gave you 2 days to have an opportunity to buy at opening range highs. And I missed it. It happens. I mean, even Friday you could have bought it. But again, as I mentioned, even Friday you could have bought this, I would say. But the higher this goes, the less likely it's gonna risk reward. But I can see this doing something crazy, you know, parabolic wise. Who says it can't go higher? But another one that is 5-star as well is QBTS, you know, sector as well. Sympathy runner. Again, look at this chart. There's so many setups on this. This is pretty much the basic premise. As you see here, you know, big move, sideways, ramp up, you know, and consolidation, and the range break. And with these, you have to think bigger picture, because most of the time, like, everyone wants the stock to jump immediately, but it doesn't happen that way. As I mentioned already, the best moves take time to develop. They take weeks, sometimes months, and this is 5-star. And with this setup, you trail 10-day. Okay, you trail the 10-day, and you know, I would rather sell 10% late than 100% early. You know, I'm not trying to. The money's important, but I'm more focused on the setup and how well I trade this setup. The money's gonna come regardless, but you trail 10-day. And again, you don't want to buy this now. You don't want to buy RGTI or all these quantum plays now. You don't want to buy them now. No, the time to buy these plays was as I was breaking those ranges, as I showed you. Like, you don't want to buy this now. If you buy this now, you're never going to make it in trading. You're just gambling. You want to buy it as it's breaking those ranges, you know, and that's really it. But one I am long over the weekend. First off, I'm long pony. I'm long pony from Friday. I got in Friday, kind of chased it up. I got long in this dip right here at $20. I waited for a dip, somewhat chasing. The pattern's there. I mean, it's a range break. So we'll see what happens on that one. QUBT, I am long this stock from $20. Quite big. Quantum theme. This has been a lagger from past runners, and a lagger, you always have a lagger in a sector, which means that it moves late to they're really sector leaders in a sense. So I'm long this one. Again, 5-star. Look at the past. This has ran before, you know. Even the sevens back then were 5-star, you know. This is so good to see. So yeah, we'll see what happens on this one. Even here, you know, the sideways action in the gap up and continuation. But yeah, that's that. It's really nothing, not really no rocket science, you know, just you want to set price alerts on these stocks. And again, when I mean by price alerts, I'm not saying like when it hits, you trade it. No, it's just you get familiar with the name. It puts it in your orbit. So you know you have an idea when the price alert hits, ooh, okay, I can do this or I can do that. You know, you always want to think of options. So when I saw this hit, I got long, and it's turned out really well. So we'll see. Ideally, big picture, I can see this gapping over 20, not gapping, but I can see it going over $27. Because I mentioned, I'm not saying this is what it's going to do, but last time it broke out of that range, it had 3 days of continuation. So I'm not saying that's what's going to happen this time. I'm just saying that it has that possibility. Even this time, this stock offers numerous days of continuation once those ranges break. So with this one, trail 10 day, that's all I want to do, trail 10 day. But let's just go over some other ones. Again, this is really my list right here of stocks. Again, all these are just on my radar. It doesn't mean I'm trading them. It does not mean that I have positions in them. It's just stocks that have setups are already in development. Quantum Play, VRME. We'll just go over some. I'm not going to talk over all of them, but some of them I will talk about. This one I went over. Ideally, continuation, trail 10 day. VERI is one I missed. This is, I believe, AI theme. I believe it is. I'm not sure. But this is a 5-star setup. 5-star, 5-star. And this is really what I meant by this. Stocks move in stairs. First off, look at the long-term chart. This is highly neglected. Highly neglected. Although it's ran in the past. Even it was neglected back here. And look at the move which it did. From the low of 150, the high of almost 8. So you really want to focus on stocks that are neglected. Sometimes make the biggest moves. And that's really what has been the trend lately, but look at this, the nice range is there, and the nice range break even there, and even it's a 5-star flag pattern. You can't really see it, but it's a flag pattern, and I missed this, but congrats to me to get long. I just was focused on these quantum plays, but opening range highs, was the ideal spot, but I missed it. Oh well, it happened. But ideally continuation, trail 10 day on that one. QUBT I talked about, I'm long. Solana is another one. Another pattern I call is liquidity trap. It's not my pattern, it's just something I learned from other traders. A liquidity trap is really whenever you have a stock that's really illiquid and it's really thin, and you have short traders that are in it, and again, I don't advise short selling, but it pretty much, it's a self-fulfilling pattern, because whenever the stock breaks out of the ranges, the shorts are first to cover, and it leads the stock price to go higher. This is really like a day trade type of deal, but we've seen it on numerous setups already, like which was the one I traded really well a couple weeks ago. I'm trying to think. Damn, I'm gonna figure it in straight. I'm gonna just show you, I guess, on my database. I have a lot of stocks. Again, you want to keep a database of stocks. Do I have it? Hold up. Alright, sorry about that. But pretty much like INHD, it's a 5-star liquidity trap. I have a stock that's been, again, most of these, this is not a swing trade. This is just purely a day trade, or sometimes overnight swing, but it's not long term. This is just another pattern. But pretty much just like this, they have stock that's first green day on some bullshit news, whatever it is, and the best ones have high ADR. First off, all the stocks I trade, you want the higher the ADR, the better. This is like 56% roughly. And most of the best ones, they have, again, same type of premise with the swing trades, big move sideways, but the best ones have a range break, and that just goes straight up, and this is a 5-star one. I took advantage of it. Even like the recent ones, ZEP, this is the 5-star. This is still setting up. It's just so thin, but it's setting up really well, but yeah, that's pretty much the same type of deal on the stocks. Even Duo, Duo was one, a nice liquidity trap. Ideally it's a swing trade as well, but it's still setting up nicely. But that's what I'm watching for Solana, over 115. Let's just go over these real quick. Good night, everyone. Over OPAD is one I'm watching as well. Again, this one has ran in the past. As I mentioned, I love how it's basing on the 10-day, so ideally more continuation for a higher move. Lays is one as well. It's an AI theme. I think I mentioned this one. Did I? No, this is Quantum. This one I am watching. This is setting up really nicely. A lagger. Again, look left. This has ran in the past. Again, I want to engrave this in your head. Okay, former runners can run again. So this is on 5-star watch list. Congrats to anyone who did get along this. But it's not done in my opinion. It's not done. That's why I'm watching it. Ideally, if it gaps up, but if not, I will buy this out of the open if some setup happens. But we will see on that one. That's 5-star. Pony, I am long. Again, nice range break. Neg. See, with these quantum plays, you just have to let them run, and most of the time they'll pull back, but there's no chasing on these. But it's really all. I'm not going to go over all these because it just takes too much time, and I know most people don't want to sit and watch this, but let's just go over some I'm watching. Like even like one more. Tesla. This is 5-star. Okay, this is picture perfect. Picture perfect. I want you to take a picture, screenshot this. This will likely go to 460 or something. Just look at this. It's so much strength. Again, sideways, range break, okay? It's pretty much all I do over and over again. But there's a flat pattern. Look how it's setting up nicely, you know? And it's just a matter of time. So opening range highs on this one. Even the ETF, you know, you can trade it. 5-star on this one, you know, if you have a smaller account, like me. 5-star. This is picture perfect. I likely will buy this if it does break over 20. It's a long. But other than that, that's really all I'm going to talk about here. Affirmers one as well, nice flag.
With map, you can see it all on the heat map and with an array of.
But yeah, it's really all. Again, focus on setups, focus on your plays, and it's really all. Alrighty. But one more time, Pony, long, Charlton Day, AI theme. I did the continuation. QVT. I'm long. I did the continuation. Okay. Other than that, have a good weekend. I'll see you next time.